We'll get to that now. Top 10 NFL teams through Week 12 going into Week 13. Let's go.
We always start at 10 and go to 1 if this is your first time you're seeing us do a ranking. That's how we always do things. So we'll start at 10. The Pittsburgh Steelers, welcome to the list. Look, I do think there's something to be said about defense. Now, I know that offense, and I know it's a very offensive-predicated league, quarterback-predicated league, and that leads to more success than just having a good defense, but it does need to be said. I mean, they're top 10 in scoring, top, I think, 15 in yards allowed, and they have the ultimate trump card in TJ Watt, and Minka Fitzpatrick should be coming back soon as well. And I do think there's an argument for the offense looks better. What could it look like down the stretch? Like, it's almost like the what-if factor. We knew the defense was good. Offense was awful. We now make the pinnacle change on the offense, and we've already seen, although minor in one game, good improvements.
Yes.
Can we continue to see incremental improvements to where this is a viable offensive team by week, say, 17 or 18, heading into the playoffs? I think there's a very, very good argument for it, so they land at 10.
Yeah, another piece of that defense, Joey Porter Jr. Now, my concern with him is his penalty yards.
I'm willing to kind of eat those as a rookie.
He is locked down.
He's good.
He has covered big-name guys, and I think the most that I've seen them get targeted, I think, was DeAndre Hopkins got targeted 4 times. And I mean,
two
he
or
was
three
on guys
catches.
like Puka Nacua and like
Devontae Adams, like good,
players.
really, really high-end receivers.
Yeah. So he's done a great job. That defense shoring things up adds to it, and then the coaching factor from Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, no, I would agree. Number 9, the Buffalo Bills. I know they probably won't make the playoffs. I know they're on the outside looking in. I know Pittsburgh's got a better record than them. I know that there's other playoff teams that are below them on this list. But if you can find me teams, if you so what, you think Buffalo should be 15. If you could find me 14 teams that are going to go into Philadelphia and lose by 3 in overtime in a monsoon, I just flatly don't believe you. I just don't think there's an argument. And I know it might be recency bias. I know that that's not every week. But I just saw it. I don't think that there are 10, 12, 13 teams that are able to do what Buffalo just did. Most of the teams don't have that big-time quarterback. No. I know Sean McDermott's on the hot seat, but they still are a viable defense. I know 37. Look, it's the Eagles. They hang a crooked number on almost everybody. Buffalo can play. I know that their schedule's been tough. I know that they're 6-6. I know they probably won't make the playoffs. But this is not the standings. This is who is the better team. Right now, ask yourself. Even go neutral field. Are you really taking Pittsburgh over Buffalo? And I'm a Pittsburgh fan. Come on.
I can't.
I
can't. No.
I just don't see that. That's not real. Seattle or Buffalo?
Buffalo.
Of course Buffalo.
I mean,
of course Buffalo.
You can't just...
If Buffalo and Philly played 10 times, I might pick Buffalo 4.
You can't write off Josh Allen. You can't.
I mean, if you go down, go through the playoff, Buffalo or anybody from the NFC South.
I mean, nobody in the NFC South.
Yeah, outside of Detroit, Buffalo or anybody in the NFC North. Buffalo is a good football team. I know they haven't been great. I know they're 6-6, but they are a good football team with a ton of talent.
Yeah.
All right, number 8, the Detroit Lions. I think they are slightly better, and I would take them over Buffalo for the fact that they can run the football. We know that's how you can get after Buffalo. If you can get them in play action, get the linebackers coming up, that's how you can beat them. So I think Detroit's a good football team, being able to do both things on offense. Jared Goff, especially with time, play action, with a good run game, is a very good top 10 level quarterback. You see what happens when you get a lot of pressure on him, right? And then he gets turned back into a pumpkin. But overall, Jared Goff's a very good quarterback. And good run game, great offensive line. I like the coaching staff. Defense has been better.
Outside of Week 12, I mean, this team has been getting better every single week.
Yeah, look, so they lost, they've lost 3 games now. The one was Seattle in a very close game late. Seattle's a good team.
Yeah.
The Ravens, they got throttled, but again, we think very highly of the Ravens. You'll see that. And then this recent week, divisional game, Thanksgiving, emotional, lost by a touchdown close at the end. Okay. Could be worse, yeah. Number 7, Miami Dolphins. I think they're just slightly better because I trust their quarterback and their offensive scheme more. Right, we've seen Jared Goff. We've seen the Lions have a tough game offensively, whether that be that 3-point game in Baltimore, whether it be that 22-point 4 turnover game this past week. So I think Miami is slightly better offensively. I like their coaching staff a little bit better. And now since Jalen Ramsey's been back, that defense is pretty legit.
Oh, 100%.
I know they've played Mac Jones and Aiden O'Connell since he's been back, but either way, it's still a legit defense that you cannot overlook in spots. I think they can get got, but the secondary can kind of save them a little bit with Howard and Ramsey.
Yeah, for me, it's all about that offense. It is the most high-powered, explosive type offense in the league, I would say.
Everybody forgets they can run the football, too. Raheem Mostert is a real back.
Oh, yeah, he's good. He's really good, really reliable. But, I mean, you just can't – the big play ability with Miami and the potential to always have Tyreek.
Score quick.
That is worth so much, especially in this league.
Yeah, I agree. Look, run game and methodical is very nice, but every now and then you got to be able to get the free one over the top. Miami certainly can. Number 6, the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think Trevor Lawrence is still overlooked. I think he's fantastic. I mean, the size, the mobility, the arm strength, the accuracy. I think he's fantastic. Calvin Ridley's been good. Travis Etienne has been a top 10 back this year. Doug Peterson's a Super Bowl level coach. There's there's a lot to like. Their pass rush is getting better week in and week out. I know that it got close there at the end, but they dominated that game for stretches against Houston. They made C.J. Stroud very uncomfortable, and we've seen how good C.J. Stroud is. I think Jacksonville's a real team, and there's a chance that they finish as the number 1 seed in the AFC. I like Jacksonville at 6.
Yeah, Jacksonville there makes a lot of sense. Now, this is the one team, when I look at them, I don't see them moving much past this spot. I think
they can maybe get to 5.
Yeah, there's some teams on this list where you think, if they play their asses off, they could end up in the, I wouldn't want to say 1 or 2 spot, but at least 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
This is a team that I see getting better season by season as of right now. I think this is the maximum of what they've reached for this year. Well, I think it's a very good ceiling for the Jags for the year.
I do think that they become the 1 seed, and I do think they win a playoff game.
I mean, yeah, if you're the Jacksonville Jaguars and you have that season after the Urban Meyer catastrophe that you just saw, you're happy, right?
But remember, if they get a bye and they win a playoff game, do you know where you're at, right? You are in the conference championship.
Yes.
Like, this is a team that can make the conference championship. Now, if they have to go to Arrowhead, I don't know about that. So we'll see. They have to get that 1 seed.
Yeah.
Number 5, Dallas Cowboys. The schedule has been really easy, and I think if there's a team that could slide on this list, it's the Cowboys. They have a brutal schedule coming up. And I don't even know what to say about Dallas. Dak is good. There's so much good, and I think they're playing above their head right now a little bit. Mm-hmm. I don't think that this is a team that can go on the road in the NFC and compete with a San Francisco, compete with a Philly. There's an argument that in a close game, I would take Detroit over them. But they have so much that you like. Good offensive line, viable run game, top 10 quarterback, arguably this year top 5 quarterback, good weapons on the edge. Not great, but good. Good pass rush. Deron Bland is like a wide receiver playing DB with the amount of touchdowns he has. Yeah. So there's a lot to like. At the end of the day, I feel like Dallas is going to Dallas. So I worry about them a little bit, but I think they are a very, very solid top 5 team.
Yeah, they have the talent to win.
They don't beat the great team. That's what worries me.
Yes, it's something just with that team. They have the talent to beat anyone. They do.
Yeah.
And you look at it on paper, but I do not have any evidence
to suggest that I trust them in a big game.
No, to think that they're going to win a big game.
I could not agree more. That's what worries me. I do think they're a top 5 team. If I had to put an asterisk next to a team that could move down, it would be the Cowboys, especially with this rough stretch incoming.
Fair.
Number 4, the Kansas City Chiefs. I know 4 might seem low for a team with Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Andy Reid, but I don't trust the receivers. I think their offensive line is okay, not great.
Underwhelming.
But the good news is the defense is spectacular. They are. There's an argument that it's a top 3 defense in football,
which is insane. Coming into the season,
nobody thought that.
If you were told that the Chiefs, the best attribute to their team, the best asset that they have right now would be the defensive side of the football.
And I told you the weak link would be the Mahomes to receiver connection. Mm-hmm. That's wild. And that actually really is it. And I do think, again, asterisk next to a team that could move up. If Mahomes distributing the ball to receivers is the biggest problem,
I think
I'd sign up for that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Having a really good defense, really nice run game. Travis Kelce, although taking a step back slightly, is still really good. They have a lot of pieces. I think they'll figure out the receiver thing as those receivers mature and get more experience.
I agree.
Number 3, San Francisco. I think it's the best roster in football. I really do. I think top to bottom, they have an all-pro at every level. Brock Purdy's playing really well. Christian McCaffrey's unbelievable. I don't really know what else to say about it. I think that might be the best roster in football. Top 3, yes, because I did just see them go on a 3-game losing streak, and I saw Brock Purdy be down and trailing, and it didn't look good. So if I can see proof that they can play in a tough, close game, say this Philly game, and they can win, I think they can move up. But right now they're 3.
Well, you're preluding the predictions a little bit, are you?
Yeah, we'll see.
No, yeah, San Francisco, there's a lot to like. There always has been. There's nothing to really knock them for except that little bit of a dip that they took this year. Outside of that, I mean, you look around for reasons to bang on them, you can't find it.
Yeah, I think over the course of the year, the reason they're not higher is that little dip. But on a week-to-week basis, if they play their best, I think it's the best team in football.
And you're never.
I think their high end is the best high end in football.
Yes, and you're never excited to see the 49ers on your schedule.
No, if you take every team and had them play their A-plus game, I think the San Francisco 49ers would have the best A-plus game.
Yeah.
All right. Ravens at 2. I think Lamar Jackson's in the conversation for MVP. I think their offensive line's good. Their defense is unbelievable.
Humming, man.
I mocked that Roquan Smith move because, again, it's a linebacker. You're going to pay big money to a linebacker. That might be the best linebacking duo that we've seen in football since Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman. I mean, Patrick Queen and Roquan Smith in the middle are unbelievable. Stop the run. They're physical, especially Roquan Smith. Patrick Queen is a sideline-to-sideline speed linebacker that can cover you out of the backfield. Like, you could line them up on the best of the best tight ends, and I feel good about it. I mean, that is a fantastic defense with a really, really high-end quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, they are a buzzsaw. They're tearing through the league right now.
Especially Lamar. Like, if you don't see him often, if you're not in division with him, he's a handful.
Well,
he's a handful.
There's nobody that you can
you can't simulate Lamar.
Prepare for.
You cannot simulate Lamar in practice. You just can't. Yeah. Number 1, Philadelphia Eagles. There is a science to winning close. Do I think that, again, an A game for maybe Baltimore or San Francisco or maybe even Kansas City could beat Philly? I do. I think one of their best games could beat Philly if they're not playing great. But there is an art to winning close. There's an art to winning gritty, and Philadelphia has absolutely solved it.
Yeah,
they have that. That is a skill, and it is all theirs.
Yeah. I mean, you've watched football this year, I'm assuming, if you're this far into this video.
Yeah.
Everybody has seen what Philadelphia's been able to do.
I think Jalen Hurts is the MVP.
We were talking about this earlier.
In terms of value, I think it's Jalen Hurts.
We were talking about it earlier, and it makes sense because there's nobody that you just look at in the league this year and just know that they're going to be the MVP.
So now I'm interested to see.
There's not a clear-cut guy.
I'm very interested to see because the voting's going to tell us a lot. Little sidebar here about what the voting values. Do they value stats or do they value value? Because if they value stats, give it to Tua or give it to Myles Garrett or give it to T.J. Watt. Give it to the best wide receiver. Give it to Tyreek Hill. Yeah. If they value, then it's Jalen Hurts. In terms of valuable to the team winning football games, it's Jalen Hurts.
Fair.
The voting's going to tell you exactly what they think of the award. Is it a stat award or is it a value award? We're going to find out.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be value, but we're going to find out. Let's run back through it. Eagles at 1, Ravens at 2, San Fran at 3, the Chiefs at 4, Cowboys at 5, Jags at 6, Dolphins at 7, Lions at 8, Buffalo Bills at 9, and at 10, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Love it. There's some good teams. Real good teams.
Love it. Okay.